Some breaking news this hour. Black smoke is hanging over the Russian city of Yaroslavl, the home of one of the country's biggest oil refineries, after a Ukrainian drone attack. President Zelensky of Ukraine said they targeted the refinery and another in Bashkortostan as part of the effort to cut the oil revenues that fund Russia's war effort. The region's governors called it the largest ever attack, saying 93 drones were destroyed. But that's only part of the picture. Across Russia, the military says it has intercepted and destroyed over 600 Ukrainian drones. The attacks have also continued the other way. 5 Ukrainians were reported to have been killed in Russian attacks overnight. These are images from Zaporizhia, where Russian drones hit an apartment block, injuring 2 civilians. Well, let's speak to our correspondent from BBC Russian, Olga Ivshina. Hello to you. Olga, just bring us up to date with what's been happening overnight.
So there have been missile strikes, drone strikes on both sides. So, as you rightly said, Ukraine have been hit 94 drones and 2 ballistic missiles. Only 66 of those drones have been intercepted, as stated by Ukrainian officials. So this shows one of the big problems which exist now for Ukraine. They lack intercepting facility, and of course, most importantly, they don't have capabilities currently to intercept Russia's ballistic missiles, which can bring significant troubles and significant destructions for different facilities in Ukraine.
Apologies, do carry on.
On the other side, Russia has also been hit. So Russian MOD this morning reported over 600 drones being flown over Russia. They claim most of them have been intercepted, but there has been successful strike on Russian oil facilities in Yaroslavl. That's roughly 300 kilometers from Moscow, and Ufa, that's 1,300 kilometers from Moscow. This shows you what the deep range Ukrainian drones are now reaching, and it has been quite a long and successful campaign of Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian facilities, mostly industrial, but also some civilian facilities have been hit, while there is storage facilities, that's Russian analog of Amazon. Ukraine claims it's being hit because it sells some military-related products. Moscow strongly denies that.
And do we know to what extent the strikes by Ukraine far inside Russia are having an effect on Russian public opinion?
That's a good question. First of all, Russia is an authoritarian society, so it's very hard to measure the real sort of public opinion, public climate inside. But based on the polls we get, public opinion, public mood is being affected. Putin's rating is it's low since the start of the invasion in February 2022. It has dropped from 87% last year to 74% in July. So that's a big drop. But the trouble is, and the amount of people who, according to the polls, people who support possible peace negotiations, peace deal is around 60%. But the big problem is public opinion. They don't decide. There is one man in the Kremlin who calls the shots, and he repeatedly says that he wants to continue this invasion.
And as well as all the strikes on oil refineries, we've seen strike after strike by Ukraine on the Russian retail chain Wildberries. What sort of effect is this having on life in Russia?
It depends which part of Russia we're talking about. Russia is huge, right? In those particular places where those storage facilities were placed, of course, people feel the effect, people are in shock, etc. But overall, we don't see significant disturbance. So overall, the business continues. Of course, people lose their money. The Wildberries chain itself is significantly affected. But the sales continue. People can get the everyday goods they need. Of course, there are some minor disruptions, but Russia tries to find alternative ways. For example, with petrol, because of oil facility strikes, Russia started buying petrol from Morocco, from India. So they're trying to play things down and to try to find alternative routes.
Olga, thank you very much. Olga Ivshina, BBC Russian.